get the feeling that everything in America is completely fucked up.
Corona.
You know that feeling that the whole country is like 1 inch away from saying, that's it, forget it.
Now look, here's a house full of bees. You think the honey badger cares? It doesn't give a shit.
Listen, let's get one thing straight. Guns don't kill people. I do.
And I'm not proud of it. I'm scared. I will
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to
Israel has never had a better friend than President Donald J. Trump.
Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives a shit? I think some apologies are in order.
That was a fun song.
Yes. Do you recognize the song?
I do. I definitely have heard it before.
It's called Corona. And it was originally done by the Minutemen.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Because while I was listening to it, I was like, I have heard this before, but
Yeah. It's a great song.
it is. I love that Tex-Mex style.
Well, you know who the band was?
No.
That was Calexico.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Which is one of the best band names
Yeah.
ever. Isn't it funny how, like, you just kind of get used to band names being like a state, like Kansas. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a band. We just accept that. Boston.
America.
Right. But if you
Europe.
if you started a band, Asia. If you started a band and you called it California, you would feel so stupid.
Yeah.
Just the balls it would take to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Have you ever seen that video? It's you can find it online. It's Mr. Bungle.
Yeah.
And they do a whole set of a parody of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
And like making fun of them.
Yeah.
Like it had the guitar player, like
I have seen that, yeah.
his roadie came out and was injecting him with heroin the entire set.
I have seen that,
And the
yeah.
drummer had like all this like giant pasty symbol sign, like, you know, just all these endorsements.
Right.
And they asked Anthony Kiedis from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, like, what's their problem with you? He goes, I have no idea. I don't have a problem with them. What the problem is that Mr. Bungle has an album called California. And it was originally going to be called Californication. And right before the album came out, the Chili Peppers all of a sudden, so Mike Patton saying, hey, we came up with that name and you stole it from us.
Uh-huh.
That's the story behind it.
Interesting. Calexico is a cool town for many reasons, from what I understand. Not least of which is that it's right across the border from Mexicali. Mm-hmm. Which is so cool. Right? Your sister city is right across the international border, and you guys have like reverse names of each other.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good band too. They have that kind of desert vibe.
Yeah. I've always thought that Mays have it like down pat, that they have, you know, all those corridos and all the, you know, the 40 subgenres of that style of music.
Yeah.
I was like, but every single song is a party.
Totally.
Which I've always like totally
Dude,
appreciated.
when those horns come in that song,
It's like,
you're just
kinda
like, dude, you could be living in abject poverty down in Mexico, have drug cartels ruling your day-to-day life, making no money, and then you go and you hear all those horns play, and you're just like, fuck yeah, it's good to be
fire
Mexican.
up the grill.
I am a fucking Mexican. Let's go.
It's the Mexican summertime jam.
Totally. Yes.
So I had a realization that because we all rolled yesterday, and I did quite the number on my neck.
As in jiu-jitsu, not
Jiu-jitsu.
ecstasy.
I didn't send this to you guys. I had an idea for because jiu-jitsu is so popular,
Yes.
and kind of a 90210-esque kind of theme, like TV show,
Okay.
like drama,
Yes.
you know, but with all really attractive actors, like 90210.
Yep. In their 30s playing high school kids.
Right. Ready for the name?
I'm ready.
Role models.
Ah. Ooh, I like it. I like it.
I texted Jake. He's all, dude, that's got legs.
I don't think people are going to buy there being drama in a jiu-jitsu academy, though. Seems like a little far-fetched.
I texted my brother, too. He goes, my academy alone could fill up 6 seasons. But I'm out doing yard work, and I was like stretching, and I was like, oh, man. And then our neighborhood chiropractor comes by. He goes, how you doing? I was like, good. It's like, actually, I was thinking about giving you a call.
How do you undo that thing you did to me yesterday?
Which dawned on me,
right?
You're the guy who fucked my neck up.
Yes.
I was all, quite the nice little racket you got there.
Totally good business model. He knew exactly what he was doing. Had that Darce.
Oh God, it was so tight, dude.
I think Derek and I were both watching.
Well, I was
locked that up.
the one who was supposed to roll with him. Right. And then I walked off the mat and
Stalled. Stalling.
got conversation. I walked
Things
back
to do in the lab.
Lots of things to
Kelly's
do.
like, well played. Well played.
I was telling Kelly, I almost went out.
Oh, no
It
shit.
was like, whoop, my vision went in because it's against our artery.
Yeah.
I could still breathe. So you're like, oh, I'm all right. Oh shit.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing that gets you every time is
Yeah.
I can still breathe. Then
Right.
you're waking up with a bunch of people in your bedroom.
And a puddle of your own urine. It's like, what?
Yeah. I shit my pants again.
What are you doing in my room?
So we got our cow, which I'm amped on.
Yes.
Have you seen this meat, Derek?
I haven't
This
seen
stuff
this meat.
is perfect looking. It's just like I was saying. It's like the eggs we get from the chickens. Like we cracked one yesterday, and the yolk was almost orange.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
If anyone out there wants to buy a steer, I would highly recommend getting it from the guy that we got ours
Yeah.
from. And hit me up, and I'll give you his contact.
I'm slow smoking the beef ribs right now.
The short ribs.
Short ribs,
Fantastic.
Yes, I'm trying something different. What drives me nuts is people don't barbecue things correctly. Not that I'm any kind of master, but I know some basics. And then they spend all this time with the dry rub, which you put on last night, letting it get to room temp, letting it sit, smoking them correctly. And even if people do that correctly, which the majority of people don't, is they just cover it in the syrup known as barbecue sauce,
Yes.
American barbecue sauce, which is it's like it's just supposed to be a complement to the flavor of the meat. That's why you have barbecue.
Well, maybe that's
sauce.
the problem is because so much of the commercial meat sucks.
Yeah.
So, but you got good. Like,
Yeah, and these ones, I'm
think-
not putting any sauce on. I was like, these no help needed.
I think that's your style. That's kind of like a
Yeah.
Texas style.
Yeah,
But I think that the barbecue
it's more like
gurus
Kansas
out there
City.
would disagree with you.
Yeah.
That that style also can be done correctly, and not just be like a candy.
Oh no,
coating
like
on bad meat.
what I'm saying is even if you use a sauce, like it's a glaze. You know what I mean? It just brings out the flavor of the rib. Not like the guy I talked to who goes, no, the rib is just to get the sauce in your mouth. I'm like, why not just drink the sauce?
Just take the meat off the bones and just put the sauce on the bones, and then you just like use the bone as a spoon.
I looked up the Texas style
Yeah.
because the dry rub I use like paprika, cayenne, onion, garlic, a little bit of salt, pepper, whatever. You can go on and on. But the Texas style is just salt, pepper, nothing else. He goes, and we don't even use sauce, rarely. So I almost did that this time, but I wanted to kind of...
I like to braise the. Is that what it's called when you put in the liquid?
Yeah.
The short ribs.
Oh, yeah, they just fall apart. They're
Just
so
fall
good.
apart. Yeah,
Some,
so I'll
like,
do it
red
the way
wine or
you're
something.
doing it,
Yeah.
and then like halfway through, transfer it to a little
Yeah.
pan of braising fluid.
The original, like before we even did this podcast, is my neighbor Brian. This was 14.
Yeah,
He's just like, we should do a podcast. And I'm like, I don't know. Like
like a barbecue podcast.
well, that's what it became. Is I was like, well, what would it be about? We can't just sit there and talk out of our asses. which I ended up doing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Who would listen to that? Turns out nobody.
I love when things come full circle. And we were just like having beers one day, and I was like, what if we did like one of those call-in relationship podcasts? He goes, yeah, that'd be cool. Like, what would be the spin? And it just morphed into, because the first thought I had was like, I'd love to do a barbecue podcast. Like, that would be the best. He goes, oh, only so many people listen to that. And then we started talking about, like, dude, those relationship call-in shows are fucking, who's the Dr. Laura, stuff like that.
Or what was the Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew one?
Loveline.
Loveline.
Yeah. And he goes, well, what we could do, it could be like two salty dudes, and they take calls from these women. And they
always have the dudes back.
Yeah, and you just always bring it around to barbecue. So
right.
To the point on the third call, it's like, she goes, well, my husband, Mike, he doesn't talk about the stresses at work, and it's affecting the marriage. And I just need him to open up. And we're just like, okay, all right. Thanks for the call, Barbara. Men are kind of like a brisket. What you want to do is get that dry rub on the day before. That's where you get your bark. And you just go on about the brisket for 20 minutes.
I think you'd actually end up with a lot of listeners. Yeah. The hard part would be getting women to call in to the barbecue podcast. But you just fake it.
You could even do that old school, like, cutting her off, like, all right, little lady, let's not get over our skis here. We got other calls on the line.
I wanted to read an article to you guys.
All right.
Might take a while. I'm gonna read the whole thing. All right.
This is gonna be good.
So, California, in case you don't live here, has a project known as the High-Speed Rail Project,
which is actually a regular speed train, also known as the choo-choo, with some technology that they developed in the early 1800s. We're trying to get off the ground for $230 billion at this point.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I'm going to play a video in a minute of an expert talking about the high-speed rail, and he does mention the speed of the train. In 2008, this article is from 2023. This is by Lee Ohanian. In 2008, California voters approved a $9.95 billion state bond funding as seed money to build an 800-mile high-speed rail, HSR.
Would you care to repeat that number one more time, just so it's all fresh in our brain?
Yes. Well, this was the seed money. Okay. $9.95 billion. Now, the voters approved this. They approved it based on the assumption that this would lead to a high-speed rail.
And
800 miles worth of it.
subsidized with private investment.
Well, just don't jump ahead. I'll get
Damn you.
This high-speed rail network was connecting Los Angeles and San Francisco and the Central Valley to coastal cities at speeds of up to 220 miles per hour with an expected completion date of 2020. But now...
It's 2020. This is
2023 when the article was written.
Okay, so...
But now, 18 years in our time, after the bond issue, 3 years after the expected completion date, not one train has left the station. Not one route has been completed, even though nearly all of the $9.95 billion seed money has been spent. And the original budget of about $33 billion for the entire 800-mile system is now inadequate to build just one route, Bakersfield to Merced.
Actually, there is no iPod.
Exactly.
Was that 333?
No, $33 billion.
33 billion. Okay.
That was the original budget to complete the entire 800-mile system.
Those 33 numbers are always interesting.
Yes, some numerology for you, Derek. And now that is inadequate to build just one route from Bakersfield to Merced, whose cost pencils out to $207 million per mile, a cost that will almost certainly rise in the future, and for a route that may not be ready for 10 years or more, or perhaps ever.
This is just the route from Bakersfield to Merced.
Yes.
The two
metropolis
burgeoning cultural hubs.
California's HSR is perhaps the greatest infrastructure failure in the history of the country. And the reason it failed is because of a gross failure in state governance.
Did you say grope?
One on such a grand scale that it is nothing short of a betrayal of Californians. The betrayal dates back to the project's inception. Now listen to this. A report by the state's Legislative Analyst's Office, LAO, found that the program's 2008 business plan, which had been legally required to be submitted to the state legislature on September 1st, 2008, but was not released until after the bond issue was voted, was deficient. So they were legally required to create this business plan and show it to voters before the election, before they were voted on this. They didn't. And when they did, the business plan was deficient. The plan did not present statistics on train capacity, which you would think would be part of your business plan, forecasts of segment service levels, how funds would be secured, how costs would be distributed by system segment, an operating break-even point, what analytical methods were used to forecast the ridership, expected completion dates, or environmental review and construction, and how risks would be mitigated. Which sounds to me like it was a blank piece of paper.
Yes.
Yes.
Because all of those things are obvious that you would need to
They
provide.
simply photocopied the insert that came with the COVID vaccine.
So who's
There you go. Here's your business plan.
He goes on. Imagine a business plan without discussion of future funding, project capacity, demand at the product segment level, how costs would be allocated, or how risks would be mitigated. The 2008 business plan was anything but a business plan. Voters approved $9.95 billion in bond financing for a dream, not a vetted project. And like most dreams, California high-speed rail has turned out to be a fantasy. If the plan had been submitted by the required date, more than 2 months before the election, then these deficiencies would have come to light. Instead, voters trusted those who they elected to vote. This was 2008. Okay, I mean, it's like the 1950s.
This is like when my kid told me, he goes, I don't know school tomorrow. I'm like, all right.
I know.
And I look at my wife, I'm all, that's on us.
We trusted. We clearly should not have. They trusted the California state government was capable of spending their tax dollars effectively. At one time, California governance was among the best in the country. Our state government created and built capital projects efficiently and quickly. In the 1960s, such trust was warranted. It no longer is. The state government's betrayal has continued ever since the incomplete and deficient 2008 business plan was not submitted on time. The project continued without adequate planning, supervision, or oversight. Not surprisingly, it continued to go south. The LAO found the HSR's 2009 report to be flawed. This is a quote from the LAO. Discussion of risk management is significantly inadequate, lacking any description of mitigation processes or detailed considerations of many key types of risks. And few deliverables or milestones are identified in the plan against which progress can be measured. Also, inconsistencies in the proposed order of events create some uncertainty. Take a moment to consider the last deficiency. The 2009 HSR report presented a completion timeline that was sequentially out of order, as in locking the barn door after the horse leaves. Meaning they probably said, like, step 4, lay the track. Step 5, build the bridges. Right? If the HSR team...
I believe News has been quoted. He's like, I like to work big to small. Right.
Yeah. That's the fucking problem.
Oh, I didn't know you were talking about a train.
If the HSR team can't put together a proper timeline on paper, how could it ever be trusted to complete anything? The LAO's concerns about the project's risks, funding, completion targets, and the proper sequencing of targets sadly became remarkably prescient. Private investors were supposed to line up to fund the no-brainer. To date, there are no private investors, and it is ludicrous to imagine that any will ever show up. There is no pathway to funding beyond the Bakersfield-Merced route, and even that may be at risk. Out-of-order completion targets, Some land that was being developed by the HSR was never purchased, leading to one lawsuit after another. So all those lawsuits that we hear about and the candidates talk about, well, we got to, stop all these lawsuits and everything. They had planned to buy people's land, never told those people, and then just showed up like one day like, hey, we're starting a fucking train through your yard.
So no-brainer kind of sums it up.
Yeah.
And also just kind of piggyback on what you're just saying, the original bond was contingent upon a certain percentage of private investment.
Right.
Otherwise, the project was void. Like it
wasn't possible.
Right. Which they never got.
They never got.
Yeah.
They never were going to get.
Yeah, they never planned on actually building this thing. This was just a grip.
No, it's a money grip, and that's why they call it seed money. It's just because now you get to tout out like this is every Democratic person who's running for like Katie Porter and all them, and they'll ask them like, "What about the bullet train?" Like every single one of them said, like, "We've spent this much money so far. It's like we have to keep, it's the throwing good money after bad kind of scenario."
Yep.
The what do they call it? It's the there's a name for it. It's
the sunk cost fallacy.
Sunk cost fallacy, yeah.
Meaning like, well, we've spent this much money. We're in this deep. We can't back out now. It's like, no, that's exactly what you do.
I've already cheated on my wife several times at this point. Like, why?
Can't stop.
Why would I stop?
LAO also presented concerns early on about the importance of the states building goodwill with local governments and public agencies to facilitate construction. This never happened. More lawsuits were filed by litigants ranging from the Hollywood airport to the Northern California city of Millbrae. One of the most damaging decisions by the state was to permit nearly all aspects of the project to be implemented and managed by consultants. Only 10 full-time employees were on staff at the time that the project was supposed to take off, and they were little more than cheerleaders. According to Quentin Kopp, who was chair of the HSR when voters passed the bond measure but is now a strong critic, an even more damaging decision was to retain the same consultants in 2015 when the state awarded them a new $700 million contract and when it was obvious that the project was far behind schedule and far over budget. That's that sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah.
Like, we just need to give them more money. All right, I'm almost done here. The state's latest HSR business plan was released last week. The cost of just the Los Angeles to San Francisco route is estimated to be over $100 billion now. Though I fail to see how the HSR authority can come up with such a cost when they don't even have a completion date. Some things never change. Life has changed substantially since voters passed the HSR bond issue in 2008. Electric vehicles are supposed to make up most of the stock of California's cars after 2035, which eliminates a significant component of the estimated benefit from the HSR. Video meetings and remote work have become common, reducing the demand for travel. And the state has 1 million fewer people today than it was expected to have back when the bond was passed.
Are those two things at all linked?
I know. Consequently, the HSR ridership estimates have been reduced significantly by as much as 38% below initial estimates. There is no path to completion for the fantasy rail system that was falsely sold to voters 15 years ago, finishing the Bakersfield-Merced route, which will cost in excess of $35 billion and which won't be operative for 10 years, doesn't come close to penciling out. The only reasonable decision is to end a project that should never have begun.
One of my favorite quotes of all time is when the California Exodus began.
Yeah.
Several years ago, and they asked Gavin Newsom, like, how would you, because he has presidential aspirations, so it's like now he's getting asked questions on more of like a national level.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And when they asked him, like, so what would be your response to all the people that are leaving California for these other states? He goes, oh, I mean, think about it though. Where else you gonna go? I don't know. One of the 49 other states. What kind of answer? What kind of answer is that? Did you have a stroke or something?
Right. I just told you they're leaving the state. They've gone somewhere. Trust me. So back in 2014, an expert on this topic was recorded talking about it. I'm going to play that for you guys right now.
A bullet train expert.
Yes.
Is that him?
This is him, a guy with intimate knowledge of the high-speed rail. Handsome fella.
I was out there promoting a $33 billion project. I was out there promoting ridership that was 55% higher than the current projected ridership. I was there promoting a third of the money coming from the private sector, 25 to 33% from the federal government. I was out there promoting the fact that this would generate revenue and not cost taxpayers a subsidy. I was out there promoting it. And none of those things now are taking shape. It's just.
You don't say. Who could have predicted that?
Well, he did. Listen.
$68+ billion project. They just announced 2 months ago, went up another billion just for this new 130-mile first phase. It started with $33 billion. It went to 96. We value engineered it, so it's no longer quote unquote high speed rail. It's higher speed rail.
So it's not even high speed rail.
It's higher speed.
Higher speed.
I'm going to Vegas as a higher roller.
Like your joke in the beginning about the technology of the 19th century, but today is even more accurate. Like, because you could make the argument, well, we didn't have trains in the 1800s that could go 220 miles an hour. It's like, well, we don't have those today either, because it's higher speed rail.
Overstated the ridership projections. We manipulated some of the revenue projections. There's only one true high-speed rail system in the world that generates real profit.
He just admitted to manipulating overselling it and manipulating the numbers on it. Play that again.
Manipulated some of the revenue projections. $33 billion. It went to 96. We value engineered it, so it's no longer quote unquote high-speed rail. It's higher speed rail. We wildly overstated the ridership projections. We manipulated some of the revenue projections. There's only one true high-speed rail system in the world that generates real profit. I thought there were two. And I remember when President of France was here a few months ago, I complimented him on being one of the two, and he laughed. And his ministers laughed. I said, what do you mean? They said, well, don't believe what you read about us generating profits on our high-speed rail. The only one is Osaka that generates, and that's a different kind of concentration, urban concentration. So this is going to be a subsidy. The bonds you double the cost of the bonds is the actual cost to the taxpayers of repaying them. I mean, it's a burden, politically speaking, candidly. I was there with Schwarzenegger and Tony Blair on the screen. I'll never forget it. Governor Pataki from New York State, all celebrating cap and trade. Not one person ever when we advanced that was talking about money going to high-speed. We were talking about energy efficiency programs. We were talking about retrofitting building. I was vocally concerned with my legislative colleagues up there about taking the cap and trade money. When you set out a 5-year capital plan, as the governor did, Burden actually read, which showed $56.7 billion of capital expenditures, 25.6 going just for the high-speed rail, getting close to half that money, not for the deferred maintenance needs, not for local transit projects up and down the state, not for real jobs, real that are desperately needed. Analysis would conclude that there's no private sector money and there's no capacity for this to be built. But that said, if that were the process, you would kill the project. Of course, as you break with the tribe, there's consequences. I doubt very much, even the most optimistic assessments of the next decade, the facts seem overwhelming that this project is not going to materialize in our life.
What's going on here?
Yeah,
It's insane.
I know.
Is he on the ketamine or something?
I know.
Yeah,
Like he's laughing. He's talking about like, here's how I'm fucking everybody.
Totally.
The entire state.
And this was in 2014. Like, it's not like he came out in 2014 and said that the high-speed rail is a boondoggle. He's been promoting it the whole time.
Yeah.
And he says...
No, he's doubled
right
down
there,
on everything.
He's like, there just isn't money for it. It's a fantasy. But, if you break with the tribe, there's consequences.
Well, it's the same smugness he had when he got caught, in finger quotes, at the French Laundry. And it was like, well, we can do it. But
My favorite thing about when he came out and said that is this is a great technique, and I really implore people to utilize this where you've been caught in some kind of fuckery. Is you, instead of saying I, use we, because it kind of collectivizes your fuck up. He goes, look, we're all human. We all make mistakes, and we all fall short. And I'm like, no. You, dick.
Yeah, who is this?
No,
we?
you.
We?
Yeah. I wasn't at the French Laundry. You were out there.
And I would have been there, and I didn't wear a mask. But you were the one telling all of us that we had to stay in our homes, had to not go to work, and had to wear masks. Had to take our kids out of school.
Yeah.
Well, you sent your kids to school. You ate out at the French Laundry. You weren't wearing a mask. Fuck off. Here he is in 2014 admitting.
I've never seen it.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So that report that I read, or that article, stated that everybody knew from the get-go that this was a boondoggle.
Of course it is. It's
Gavin Newsom saying the same thing. Any candidate that's running for governor and is still promoting the high-speed rail should just be...
Which is all of them except Steve Hilton.
Yeah.
And Spencer Pratt, not governor. But
Well, Chad Bianco was...
Chad Bianco,
too.
yeah.
So here is the all those candidates on stage at the same time.
Oh, this is what I was talking about.
Being asked about the high-speed rail. And their ridiculous answers.
It'll cost another $30 billion to finish California high-speed rail from Merced to Bakersfield. We've got the viaduct laid. We have overpasses. Do you finish it? Yes or no? Mayor Villaraigosa.
Yes.
Congresswoman Porter.
Yes, if you can build it faster and cheaper than it's been projected.
Okay. Sheriff Bianco.
No, I would rather arrest the people that stole our money.
All right.
That would be on brand for
Mr.
you
Hilton.
doing things that are illegal.
No,
Mr. Hilton.
stop spending taxpayers' money on pointless things and
I guess-
improve our roads,
I guess
which are the
that's a
worst
no.
in the country
That's
because
a no.
of Democrat policies.
Mr. Steyer.
Yes, we need
Secretary
public
Becerra.
transportation.
The slow speed delivery of high speed rail, no, but a high speed delivery of high speed rail, yes.
What does that mean?
Thank you.
This litigation.
It's a little late.
Thank you, guy not even from this country.
Totally.
Do you say yes or do you veto it?
Is that to me?
Yes.
I said, I don't want to do it the way it's been done because we've overspent, but yes,
Okay.
we're going to build high speed rail.
Yes.
Mayor
Yes, we're going
Mahan.
to build high speed rail.
Conan, I would send it back to the legislature and say, fix CEQA, reduce litigation risk, let's fix the regulatory environment, and then I'll sign the bill.
Okay. Thank you.
That's not a bad answer
It'll
from
cost
that guy that's the mayor of San Diego.
Yeah, what's his name?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a socialist. Dude, check this out here. Derek, go back to that. This is a picture of the high-speed rail that has been completed so far. It can fit in one picture that you can take with your iPhone.
We got to get that framed and hang it in.
Totally.
That'd make a great rash guard.
Oh, yeah.
How fucking pissed are these people that live right here?
Yeah.
Like, thank you for building this 300-foot section of concrete monolith right up next to my house. That's never going to be used for anything.
What I was going to say. He goes, I don't want a train. Look, there's not going to be a train right there. It's just a wall, dude.
Dude had a view before they built this fucking thing. Now it's right up against his house.
It looks like
off.
brutalist artwork.
It is, yeah, exactly. Just like this scar across the landscape.
Yes.
Fucking ridiculous.
Wow.
I get it though. Like, you want to sit people down that are on Team Democrat,
Which I did.
Okay.
15 years ago.
Okay.
And they all said, this is a great idea.
Yes.
Why? Here's a question. Like, let's work big to small, if you don't mind.
Please.
I remember even back then, I was like, they're talking about, because back then, this was 15 years ago, they're talking about the first leg was going to be from Bakersfield to Merced. I just remember asking him, like, who's going from Bakersfield to Merced? How many people? He's like, well, no one. But once that train's there, all kinds of people will. Why?
That was the answer?
Well, no, it just connects communities. I'm like, you need to build a train for that?
You need a reason to go on the train.
Yeah.
You don't ride the train because you have nothing else to do.
Yeah. There's no one in Merced going like, fuck, if only I could just go to Bakersfield.
Yeah, it's like if you
did think that, there are multiple ways you can do it.
If you were building an amusement park, that might be a good response.
Yeah.
Like, who rides roller coasters? Well, nobody. So, but if you build an amusement park, then people will ride roller coasters. Okay, that makes sense.
So if you're talking about, we're going to have a Gravitron that goes from San Diego to San Francisco, I'm fucking listening.
I'm listening.
I'm
Go
listening.
on. These people are on a team, though, just like Gavin Newsom was saying there. That there's consequences for breaking with the tribe, right? And so all of these Democrats have to be on team
Choo-choo.
Choo-choo. Even though the whole thing is a scam from its inception.
Yeah, no.
There's a reason why they didn't put out the business plan until after the election.
There was no business plan.
Had they put out a reasonable business plan, nobody would have voted for it. Okay, it's not just that they didn't have their shit together, which it doesn't sound like they had their shit together, but the reason that they didn't have any of the projections and any of the ridership numbers and the plan for how to actually build the rail, going usually like the bridge first, then the rail, is because if they had put all that out, people would not have
The business
voted.
plan first, then the money.
Correct. Which is how it works.
Which they adjusted. Now they have their shit together.
It's a higher level of business plan. But it's like your team, if your team is cheating, you don't abandon your team. So the Democrats have cheated us, but Democrat voters aren't going to abandon the Democrats.
No.
They should.
They can't.
But they can't because it's their team. And so when you have like, if it came out that the Raiders had cheated and they cheated in order to win the Super Bowl, would I stop being a Raiders fan? Absolutely not. I do not give a shit.
Yeah.
Fucking cheat. Let's go. And I was looking at.
I'm glad you're bringing this up because, dude, I'm so glad we took that ESP course because.
Did you know that we can read each other's minds?
I do now.
We'll show you later.
Yeah.
So I was looking up like instances of professional teams cheating. I was thinking like, okay, like has it ever turned the fans off that their team cheated to win? So you have the Houston Astros who had that garbage can,
The garbage,
thing, the garbage gate.
That was fucking genius, by the way.
They stole the pitcher signs, and then
It's that simple. It's like as things get more advanced and more high tech, and I really appreciate someone just going back like we need something, just some caveman shit,
like the plywood drones that Iran is using. It's gonna bring the technology back down to earth. So, and you couldn't even really call that. I don't think that's cheating. Like if you can see the signs, then you tell your batter what's going on. That's That's why there's signs.
Well, since the inception of baseball, pitchers have been coming up with numerous uncountable ways to cut the ball, to put something to counterweight the ball.
Vaseline on the ball. Yeah, this spitball.
The best major league quote. You put snot on the ball. I don't have an arm like you do, kid.
Yeah. Then the New England Patriots, they had Deflategate and Spygate, right? They
I remember Deflategate.
Yeah. You had the New Orleans Saints who operated a secret bounty program where they would pay bonuses to players for injuring
I remember
their opponents, which is cheating.
Yes.
Yeah, to some degree. And no Saints fan stopped being a Saints fan after that.
Yeah, they also financed that direct energy weapon that started Hurricane Katrina.
Exactly.
So they could get a new stadium.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
That turn any fans off?
A lot of people say that. A lot of people say that.
So it's just that's the problem with our political system and any political system where any democracy is that you're going to end up with teams and loyalties, and no one's actually voting for what they think is best. They pick their team, they stick with it.
Yeah, ride or die.
It's clear. Gavin Newsom himself back in 2014 was saying what a disaster this project was. He kept pushing it, and everyone kept voting for it. And you talk to your neighbor today, and they'll say, "Yeah, well, we need high-speed rail."
That's why it's the same thing as a homeless industrial complex. Is they created a complex that creates all these jobs, these people, these consultants. Some of them are making like $700,000 a year, and like you look at the amount of money that's generated for people to talk about something that's never going to actually get done. But you already have the industry established. It's like once those wheels are in motion, it's the same thing. It is the entire industry is the sunken cost fallacy. So it's like, well, what we can do? Shut down this entire industry?
Not have consultants.
But the industry doesn't do anything. Like you're not fixing homeless. You're not building a choo-choo. You're not
making
doing
anything.
Any of this. And they're like, what are you going to do?
It's like problem, reaction, solution.
It's what's the question is always in my mind is that these people involved with this industry or the homeless industry or whatever it is, Gavin Newsom, they know it's a grift. They know it was a grift in the beginning, and they know it is now. It's a giant. It's the theft. And it goes all the way back to the big dig in Boston. Same thing. It's like everyone knows this is what it is. The question in my mind is always the people. You're saying like we'd love to talk to some Democrats. Like, explain to me. Like, here's the math. Here we are in 2026. Here's the math so far. Like, explain to me why this is a good idea. And I always, when I have these conversations with people, I'm like, are you, like, I know they're lying. That's what they do. I was like, are you lying, or have you just drinking the Kool-Aid to such an extent that you have tricked yourself into thinking that this is still a good idea?
I think it's the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I don't think that your average voter is consciously lying.
Yeah.
They're not a consultant. They're not getting paid to vote
That's
for
the whole Hegelian dialectic, though, right? You create the alleged problem, like homelessness, the need for a high-speed rail, then you get the reaction of the voters.
And the solution is...
solution that just keeps paying you.
Yep. Yeah. And ideally makes the problem worse.
Right.
So that you can ask for more money to fix it.
And it's fascinating to me that recognizing that business model is you can apply that to almost everything. You can apply that to COVID, you know what I mean? Like masks, when I was talking about, this doesn't do anything. You realize that, right? Do you think it actually does something?
Well, remember
these
all
people
that-
know it doesn't do anything. The people enforcing this know it doesn't do anything.
You can say the same thing for public schools. This doesn't do anything. You understand that?
What would you say you do here?
Remember all that
can't read.
taxpayer money that Gavin Newsom spent to buy all the masks during COVID?
Oh, and then
It was
they
$1 billion.
They didn't fit. They're all children's masks. Can we take a quick break?
Yep.
I got kicked in the balls yesterday so hard by Nick. Dude, I went to take his back.
I feel like this is like a weekly occurrence.
Dude, okay, so I'm going somewhere with this. So I go and I'm about to scramble and take his back, or at least in my mind, I was about to take his back, and he did this back heel kick like this right in my
donkey kick.
He donkey kicked me right in my balls, and I had to take a minute. I was just like, oh my god, just laying on the. He goes, it takes a second for it to kick in. He's like, oh, sorry about that. You good? I was like, yeah, I'm good. And then I was like, oh, I'm not good. Hold on. And I'm laying on the ground, and that weird chick came up, and she's like just standing there. She's like, do you need to take a break? I can
jump in for you.
And I was like, no, fuck off. Just give me a second. I'm fine. That's so weird.
I don't know why this popped in my mind, but one of the funniest things that I heard in our academy was Old Man Steve was rolling, and he had separated his shoulder, but he wanted to keep rolling. And so he got a blue belt off the shelf and wrapped his arm up against his chest and was rolling. And he kind of walked by with this weird, Jake just looks at him and goes I don't think you're wearing that right.
Right.
Just man, that is some undercover.
And he demoted himself with a blue belt.
So what made me think of that is I texted Jake and I was like, hey, do you get kicked in the balls a lot? Because it's happening to me a lot. And I'm starting to think that I'm just putting my balls in the wrong place. That's his thing. You hit me in the face. Well, you shouldn't have had your face there. He goes, by the way, he goes, what did he say first? Because you mean you don't individually rest each testicle in a custom-made egg carton and tape your whole assembly to your back left butt cheek? This is day one stuff, buddy.
Well, shout out to Garrett for wearing that horrible steel cup he wears, which every time I train with him.
Does he wear a cup?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Trevor used to wear a cup too.
Did he? Oh, my God. I mean, I can't even imagine Trevor in a freaking Muay Thai cup. That's brutal.
Who was it? There was some like OG first wave UFC guy back when it was like guys would wear boxing shoes, one boxing glove. This guy wore a steel cup and he submitted a guy. He got him in like mount and then crawled up his head and just drove the cup into his eye socket and the guy tapped.
Nice.
Dude.
Yeah. He was wearing the Thai cup, the steel cup.
Yeah.
Right. So. We all, I think, collectively in the beginning wore steel cups when Dave first moved up here. Not all I did, but it was quickly I realized this is like a weapon, and it's kind of a necessary. Like,
well, I asked Jake if he gets hit in the nuts a lot, and he was like, "I think that part of my body has got just no feeling anymore." Which maybe you were talking
just
about
like conditioning your chins.
Yes.
The backyard just punching yourself in the balls. Dogger's coming up.
Oh.
We'll talk about sports?
Yes.
Okay, so this is going to be kind of stream of consciousness, but this is, I was barbecuing last night. And I had this thought.
Back to the barbecue conversation?
Again,
yeah. Do you need some relationship advice?
Caller, go ahead.
Okay, what do you want to do with your ribs? Okay, so I was thinking about, there was a time, I don't know why this popped in my head, but this is when I was living in the city, and when I moved up here, I was really into baseball, which being in the Bay Area was a great time because the Giants were on this crazy tear.
Totally.
And everyone on the team was this crazy, like, fun personality. It was a fun team.
Totally.
Yeah, you had your Lincecum, you had your Panda, you had your Brian Wilson, Brandon Belt, Sergio Romero, all these guys.
Yeah.
And they were just, like, kind of characters. And they were doing, like, commercials, and they had social media stuff. And it was just, like, a fun time to watch.
Totally.
And at the same time, there's something, even to this day, that I just really, really like about baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love watching it. Now, if you're not into baseball, the most common complaint is like, it's just so boring. I'm like, that's what's kind of cool about it, though. There's like this rhythm, and what I really loved about watching baseball at that time, and still do to this day, is just the strategy / the skill, the mind-bending skill of the pitching game.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that I put a pitching lane in my driveway, paced off a major league distance, and just go like, how hard is this really? For those of you who haven't tried this, it's fucking impossible.
It's hard.
Like someone that can throw a ball at 100 miles an hour at that distance and get it in that quarter inch of a lower left corner of a strike zone. Like, it's fucking mind-bending difficult.
Consistently over innings.
Consistently, over and over and over again. At the same time, playing this wild chess game of like, he thinks I'm going to throw this, so I'm going to throw this. And the batter's going like, he thinks that I think that he's going to throw this. And like, just watching that kind of rhythm play out is really cool.
There's the wild card too of like, is he going to throw that ball at my head?
Yes, or is he just pissed off at his old lady and he fucking throws it in my fucking nuts? I don't have one of those Thai steel cups. And then I had this realization, because then the off season would happen, and I'm not that diehard, so I don't follow any of the stuff. And you had all these characters that kind of help you gravitate towards the game. Well, at the same time, whatever it's called, Levi Stadium or SoFi Stadium or Hawktua Park or whatever. I don't know, it changes like every couple of years.
Hawktua. I haven't thought about her in a while.
Never forget.
How's our coin doing?
Should I invest in Hawktua coin or the bullet train? I can't figure this out.
Only one would actually has the potential to make you money.
Yeah. So
True.
anyone that's been to that park, whatever it's called now in San Francisco, it's a beautiful park. It's a really fun way to watch a game. Like the viewing's great, the food is great. It's in a cool part of the city.
It's cheap.
It's really cheap. Don't walk 4 blocks south or east. Now that I think about it. So I remember.
I think east would be into the bay.
Definitely don't walk that way.
Oh yeah, okay. Or
unless
west.
you're going after a home run and you're wearing a wetsuit.
Ironically enough, you're safer if you walk east than west at that park.
You got a much better chance of survival.
Take your chances with the great white sharks.
You got some basic swimming in you, like you're gonna be all right. Other way, like, you're getting fucking stabbed. I remember like with a friend, like the season started again. Like, oh, Giants are playing. Like this will be great. And I went like, oh, good.
Sorry, I just had a freak out. I was like, are we recording?
And I was like, where's Panda? Because Panda was like a character. I remember everyone wore the Panda hats. Yep. And he goes like, oh, he got traded to, I think it was the Red Sox.
Yeah.
They offered him like $60 million or something like that. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Like that was our guy. And then that thought process starts. I'm like, well, it's not like he's from here. I think he's from Venezuela or something. He's not even from this country.
Dominican Republic.
Yeah, and someone offered him $60 million. I'm bummed he left, but who wouldn't go? You know what I mean? And now I think about it, none of these people are from here. Lincecum's not from here. Brian Wilson's not from here. Brandon Belt's not from here. Buster Posey's not. This entire team, no one is from here. I'm like, that's also true for the 49ers. And the Golden State Warriors, like none of these people are from here. They just came here because they were offered the right amount of money to do this thing. And then you start thinking, like, why am I following this team? Like, I enjoy watching the game, but why does it have to be a Giants game? Just watch any game. Why not be a Royals fan? You like blue? Blue's my favorite color. I'd prefer that hat, to be honest with you, over the Giants hat. I'm like, how did I end up watching the Giants? I mean, it is fun to go to the game. It's fun to watch with your friends and everyone rallies around it. But it's like at the end of the day, like we're rooting for laundry. I believe we've said in the past.
That's the Jerry Seinfeld joke.
Yeah. And then all these people are making so much money, right? Which makes you have that conversation. You know, it's so fucked up. LeBron James makes $120 million a
second.
Yeah. And the teacher only makes 75 grand. You're like, I'm like, I don't think you know how economics works. Like that guy, they were given that much money, projected that he was going to generate more than that. And they're going to actually make a profit on that. I'm sorry. If you don't like that, that's just how the world works. Like you can try your hand on Sentinel Island or something like that. I think it's the only place where stuff like this doesn't exist. Like these people generate this much money for this particular franchise. That's why they get that much money.
Is that how it really works? Like, is that a fact? Like,
of course.
Why would they be given that much money?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never done the math actually. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, that's why the players get paid is because they're entertainers.
Well, right.
They're generating income for the league because the league is selling advertising to people that want the eyeballs on their advertising.
Which I don't want to get in a tangent here, but like it's so fucked up. That guy gets that much, and the teacher only makes like 75 grand a year. Well, I mean, if you factor in the federal holidays, teacher only works 7 months a year. Well, why not swing a hammer in the summer? You'd be at 120 easy.
Yeah,
and everyone's happy. But that's not what we're talking about today.
Yeah, don't
go there.
Let's not go off on that tangent.
I
want to.
I think everyone hates us already. So,
well, do you know the amount of time that a baseball is actually in play during the course of a game?
No,
it's about 4 minutes.
Yeah, NFL. What was it, like 7 minutes, 11 minutes
no,
of actual play?
It's more. It's like 20, 30.
But what kind of gets us to the point? It's like it's a whole thing. You have to take the whole package, right? And at the end of the day, while it is entertaining and interesting, whatever sport you want to follow, I'm watching the best people in the world do this thing and compete against each other. Like that's interesting, right? You're watching this really incredibly level of high skill, this perfect combination of this guy is completely gifted at this thing and also dedicated his entire life to becoming the best ever at it.
Right.
And so is the guy he's competing against. Like, that's fun to watch, right? Which that's sports.
And if that thing that he became an expert at and was the best in the world at was something stupid and nobody wanted to watch it, then he wouldn't get paid as much.
Yes.
Like if it was
WNBA.
Yo-yo.
WNBA. Yeah, I'm glad you said he. Said WNBA.
Thank you. Exactly.
By the way, shout out to those two guys that made themselves eligible for the WNBA draft.
Totally. Isn't it funny that the WNBA is going to end up defining what a woman is? It's incredible.
They're forced to.
You know, I can't let it go.
High level trollery is very admirable.
I got to go back to the teacher thing.
Okay.
I can't let it go.
Yeah, I told you I'd get him going.
Look where you started.
Like, teachers don't get paid enough. Well, they're government employees for the most part.
Either the people at DMV.
Right? They get paid more than private school teachers get paid.
Yep.
And the reason is that we don't really value teachers that highly.
No.
I'm sorry, but that's the truth.
There's
Because what they do is really not that important. Because you can do it yourself. You can teach your kid. If it was so valuable what your kid was getting from this school, and let's take aside like the connections that you get in a private school and the job opportunities that you get when you get out, because that's something different. If you are paying for your kid to
Skull and
go
Bones
to
party where you're urinating on a corpse,
Exactly.
you know, and then that gives you the job at the hedge fund after you graduate.
If that's what you're after, then you will pay a lot of money for your kid to go to that private school.
Yeah.
But most people aren't after that. They're after just their kid learning how to read, learning how to do math, and then being qualified enough to go to college.
Well, are they?
And that's not that hard to teach. I do it for my son in my spare time. It's really not.
Or is it more or because the education, like, for sure sucks in public schools these days. We all know that. We could all teach our children better.
Yeah.
But it's a daycare system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how good of a job could a teacher do that you would actually pay them a ton of money? Like, how smart could your kid get? Like, there's a limit, right? They really just learn to read and write, and they learn some very basic things. It's not like they learn to be a rocket scientist in high school or even that. Like, is it really worth that much?
Well, they used to teach stuff more along those lines, right? I mean, in schools before you.
Like technical things?
Yeah, like technical things. And
shop class, wood shop.
But again, what is that really worth? To have your kid know how to do those things, it's not really worth that much. It's worth you can go get a blue collar job when you get out of school, right? So I'm sorry, they just don't do enough to really warrant that much money. So I hate firefighters. I hate teachers.
I knew that was coming.
I hate Asians. I hate my neighbors.
Don't get me started on the Jews. It's okay, no one's listening.
Man, you just derailed me.
I did big time. So you were saying that the sports teams are not from the people aren't from here.
Yeah. So, I'm just kind of like working our way to the point that we've always made. I'm like, at the end of the day, it is entertaining to watch. At the end of the day, it's a TV show that generates a lot of money. Yeah. And society the free market has even the numbers out that this is worth this much. This guy, elementary math teacher, is worth this much. I know that makes you upset, but emotions are not logical. So I don't know what to tell you.
Back to your baseball. You're rooting for your city, though. You're not really rooting for a single player.
Yeah, but there is a weird kind of like paradox or whatever. It's like none of these guys, like, I'm upset Panda went to I'm like, dude, they gave him $60 million.
Well, it's funny because there was a time when players used to actually be from the city.
Yeah, before money.
Especially in
cheap
baseball.
Money ruined every sport.
When you could go directly from high school into baseball really easily. Like Ricky Henderson was from Oakland, you know?
Yeah.
Oakland had a bunch of locals, and the Giants probably did too. But
it's cool when there's a local kid playing on the local team.
Yeah.
But when the Raiders moved to LA, I was still a Raiders fan. When they moved to Vegas, I'm still a Raiders fan. Like, and I think most people are that way. Some people stop following them, but it's like it's just the laundry is in your DNA at some point.
Yeah.
And you can't help but.
Yeah.
Now, if they change their colors and change the name of the team, fuck off. Like the Tennessee Titans did when they moved from Houston.
Right.
As the Oilers, they became the Tennessee Titans. I don't think Oilers fans stuck with them.
No.
Yeah, they kind of were like, well, now we can do whatever. We can root for whoever we want now.
Yeah, it's like finding out everyone hates you, and I'm like, wow, I guess we can just say whatever we want now. This is great.
I looked this up today. Do you know what the expected return on investment is for advertisers who sponsor sports leagues?
No, you sent me that UFC thing.
Yeah, so like the Bud Light sponsors the UFC, and they, I don't know, it's like $30 million a year contract. It's 2-to-1 to 4-to-1.
Mm-hmm.
So they're making less than double their money by
Bud Light's
advertising.
got a lot of ground to make up.
They've done a good job. They got Shane Gillis on their side now, and that
they must have fired the chick.
Yep. Was that a chick?
Yeah, there was a chick that sunk it.
No, the chick that made the decision to hire the dude who you're thinking is a chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a dude.
There is a dude.
Do we know for real?
What was the dude's name?
Dylan Mulvaney.
Dylan Mulvaney, thank you. Yes. Yeah, and it was a chick that made that decision. She got fired.
God,
yes.
Yeah. And Dylan got fired too, apparently.
You see, when you just use the real gender, how easy it is to tell a fucking story. I talk to people and I don't want, I just, okay.
Well, and they knew they had to go they had to go away from that DEI recipe to
Woke One.
God, there's
1.0.
Woke 1.0. Wow, that was crazy, right? Like,
to the complete
not
opposite.
for me.
Yeah. Okay. Close your eyes and think of a woke politician. 1, 2, 3, go. You're like AOC. Yeah. You are the epitome of a woke politician, and now you're like rebranding yourself. Yeah. Woke 1.0 was crazy.
Well, then now we bring it back by going with the toxic masculinity route, which is winning 100%.
It is.
Gillette.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, they haven't signed on with the UFC yet.
So we can all admit that sports is just a TV show at the end of the day. Entertaining, yes. Fun to watch, yes. Are these guys skilled? Yes, they're the best in the world. It generates mind-boggling amounts of money. I think Major League Baseball grosses over $12 billion a year, something like that. NFL probably even dwarfs that. Yeah. World Cup soccer probably dwarfs that.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think NFL makes more money.
Is this mostly made off of merchandising?
No.
Well, it'd be hard to quantify it since the World Cup's only every 4 years, and NFL
that's
is
true.
every year. But we also know
the money is advertising.
Oh, okay.
And World Cup's the most widely watched, I think, event completely, like of anything that everyone ever watches in the world. Anyway, point being, there's just an absurd amount of money that's being generated by these things, and they generate that money because so many people are like tuned into it.
Yes.
Now we've also realized, anytime any kind of money is to be made, say if you're starting a beverage brand, is sharks come out of the water and the corruption immediately fucking starts, which I'm already hearing horror stories about that I've been saving you guys from. I want us to keep us motivated. Which makes sense. Anything that generates money, there's going to be fuckery involved. Just type in FIFA controversy and have the next fun 10 hours reading of all these controversies.
Just type in higher.
And you find about UFC, about fights, some kind of fuckery going on, like whether it's the ref, point shaving in basketball. You're talking about the cheating in baseball. It's just there's at the end of the day, it's all about money. That's why this thing exists. That's why it's so powerful. That's why it's such a huge.
Even in the Tour de France, they popped. What's his name?
Okay, thank you, Lance Armstrong.
Then they find out there's secret hidden motors in these bikes.
No shit.
Yes.
Huh. And not to mention is that
man, that guy's really pedaling hard.
Man, that's a really loud, fast bike. He must have a baseball card in his spokes. Flying up that hill. It's got to be a certain age for that joke.
Yeah.
But Derek, thank you. I was saying that. And then we find out about like the cheating, performance enhancing drugs, right? The faces of stuff like that are Lance Armstrong or Barry Bonds.
Or Jose Canseco.
Jose Canseco.
And we had Balco in the Bay Area at the center of all of this.
Mm-hmm. Run by the ex-horn player of Tower for Power. A lot of people don't know that.
Really? Oh, shit.
That was Barry Bonds' fucking drug guy.
Yeah, clear.
And the inside saying in baseball is this guy gets busted, right? Let's say there's a baseball player. He gets busted for steroids or whatever. And everyone, this industry that this thing creates, all the shows on ESPN and the radio sports talk shows and on and on and on. Billions of dollars of this, going into this industry all centered around this, which is everyone's talking about this guy because he just got busted for doing PEDs, right? Is what they say in baseball, and which I would assume for all pro sports. They're like, yeah, his whole team's disappointed in him, and the coach is pissed, and the owner's pissed. It's like, they're not pissed because he was doing PEDs. They're pissed because he got caught. As in to say, to quote Nate Diaz, everyone's on steroids.
Yes, absolutely.
Which I believe to be true. Because these guys are so good and they're at such an elite level that extra 0.05% advantage is going to make a difference in a game with that level of skill, right? So it's all a TV show. It's all for money. And everyone's cheating. And everyone's on drugs. Do you guys disagree with anything?
No, I agree.
Okay. Which gave me this thought, and let me know if I'm kind of like out in the weeds on this. I'm like, well, just like everything else, everything's, once again, fake and gay. And it's a metaphor, and it's true. It's true for sports because it's a TV show. And I'm like, it just follows the same model as the bullet train. And our news and our food, our money's fake. Our politics are fake. Everything's fake, and everything's gay. And our pandemics, which are fake, so much so they even had a dress rehearsal right before the main recital, Johns Hopkins University. It's like everything's fake. Like everything is just about money, shifting money to other people, the person willing to do the most devious things, you know what I mean, to get that money. And I'm like, I guess that's just the world that we live in. And they end up with the spoils, and if you want to play it straight and narrow, like, good luck to you, but you're only going to get so far. So everything's fake. What was interesting to me is if you took all sports, American sports, right? Football, basketball, baseball, cycling, everything, right? And it's all just a TV show, basically. And it's all to just generate money. And the person that's willing to be the most maybe morally compromised or whatever is probably going to have an advantage over someone that won't. And it was interesting to me because I was thinking that if a baseball player gets popped for PEDs or Lance Armstrong, they talk about he just disgraced the entire sport. What gets left out of that conversation is also, so they stripped him of his Tour de France and all of his medals. He lost all of his medals. Yeah, USPS sponsorship. Like, he blemished our brand and he lost all of his sponsors, everything, right? Is what gets left out of that conversation. Like, so were the 22 people behind him.
Yes, exactly.
So it's like, if you guys want to play that game, it's the guy who came in, 24th would actually be the champion. And I would argue, like, he probably just figured, just played his cards just right, so he didn't get busted as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so that still makes Lance Armstrong the better athlete.
Yeah.
Correct.
Which I've always believed. I'm just saying, like, he's, like, still the best, dude. Yeah. If he wants his testicles to shrink up in, inside his stomach and grow the forehead like a Cro-Mag, and he's the best cyclist, like, He's the best cyclist.
Right. There is a limit to human performance, right?
Yes.
Even with all the steroids in the world, there is a top end limit, right? So why not just let everyone push up to that limit?
Exactly.
Totally agree.
Exactly, man. Fucking 40 home runs per game. Like, more people doing it.
And then if you want to compete natural, like there could be another league for that. It'd be like the WNBA. No one will watch it. No one will care, but you can go do it.
Those chicks are on juice too.
Yeah,
I guarantee it.
And like the WNBA will subsidize your league to keep it afloat. But we always make this huge deal of like, oh, this guy got busted. It's like, yeah, we all kind of know that everyone's fucking doing these PEDs or cheating or doing whatever, right? And if you think about what generates more money, all of pro sports combined or all of Wall Street?
Yeah, all of Wall Street for sure.
Right? And it's well known that these guys on Wall Street are all on Adderall and doing mounds of cocaine and staying up 18 hours a day.
Yes.
And filtering trillions of dollars that infect the entire world. And, you know, you get the guy from Credit Suisse talking about the guy from Lehman Brothers. Like, this guy, like, fully pulled this trade out from under me. You know, he took this $60 million deal that I was going to figure it out. And it was because he's up all night on fucking Adderall.
Yeah.
And you go
it's
like,
not fair. He's on Adderall.
You go like, he outworked you. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't bat an eye at that.
Yeah.
And if it's all about money and about fucking corruption, and this thing is this big, and this thing in relative scope is this big, and it's just entertainment, like we clutch our pearls and pull our panties up our crack about this guy so he can get that extra home run. And this guy is sinking the entire financial system, some country in Africa, and we're like, he's just fucking hard worker.
Yeah. It makes it tempting when someone like Donald Trump comes along and talks about eliminating the corruption.
Draining the swamp?
Yes, to coin a term.
How we doing with that?
Will he drain the...
Are they going to confirm Lindsey Graham's sister or what?
It's like we all see all this corruption, but you know, particularly in politics, and it just drives us crazy. We want someone to deal with it. And so a guy like him comes along and you want to vote for him because you believe that he is going to make good on, you know, some of his promises at least, or
one,
like, or a little bit on each one, maybe. You know, no one thinks it's going to be 100%, but obviously he did exactly the opposite of what we.
You got to trust the plan.
But it makes me think of California, which is probably the most corrupt state in the union, and we have this guy running for governor, Steve Hilton, who just seems like he really wants to eliminate all of the corruption and all the problems in California. I don't think any one person can waltz in and do that. I mean, like Gavin Newsom said, you break with the tribe and there's consequences, right?
Which is why everyone hates that guy.
Correct.
Steve Hilton.
I mean, he's not in the tribe, but he will have a very hard time doing what he wants to do.
Yeah. Well, you have to get rid of the entire political system.
So I'm glad you said that because I was walking around the other day thinking about democracy. And there is no way to have democracy where you don't have corruption. Because you're voting for promises made by the different sides. They are going to do everything in their power to get your vote. They're going to promise whatever. And then they have no loyalty to the system. They're just a caretaker who's there for a few years. They're going to be corrupt. Then they're out of there. Yeah. They don't give a shit. They can just leave a pile of shit behind them. It's not their government. They don't own it.
Same thing as sports. It's like if Boston gives Panda this much, then he's going there. And they're all going to wear Panda hats there. You could ship your Panda hats to Boston. That's where they wear them now. There's nothing you can do about it.
And if you think about it...
You do the same thing, by the way. So shut up.
Democracy is, at its core, socialism. Because the whole system revolves around taking stuff from one group of people and giving it to other people. Because those people that are in charge don't actually own the government. right? They're just there to shuffle the money around into these different pockets of different people who make these promises to do things. At the very best in America, we had a very limited form of government. But even that limited form of government is based on, it doesn't exist without taxing people. When you have a king, he owns the government. He has an incentive to not destroy his country because he owns it and he's going to hand it off to his kid. He needs everybody to be on board. Not everybody, but all the wealthy people and people with power to be on board. He has this kind of ownership over it. As soon as you have a democracy, no one owns anything, and everyone that's in there is just there to fleece everyone else, right? And it starts with a very, very limited government, and then it grows from there. And you, in a very short period of time, you basically have socialism. You have government providing all sorts of shit that nobody asked for in the first place.
Yeah, it's like when someone asked me, because I'm not a fan of government. This guy was. He goes, "Can you think of any government or system that you do like?" And it took me 2 weeks to figure out the answer. My first answer was Sentinel Island. Kind of like how they roll. Anyone comes near them, they kill them.
I don't know about this place.
It's that place off the coast of Africa. It's like this inbred tribe. People, every once in a while, someone will, like some Christian missionary will go there and they just kill them. And it's all you see on Google Earth is them waving spears at fucking drones. Cool. No one's allowed to go to the island. It's illegal to go to that island.
Wow.
Yeah.
They have a World Cup team.
And but the more I thought about it, I was like, honestly, it would be the framework that the founding fathers came up with while the ink was still wet on the Constitution. Like once that ink was dry, like we're off and running. The fuckery begins.
Even the Constitution was a bastardization of the Articles of Confederation, which in my opinion was a better setup. And that, you have to go back to the Declaration of Independence and just say, okay, right there, that document was good. Everything that came after that was just a slightly more socialist form of government. And so I get frustrated when I listen to guys like Steve Hilton talk because they just can't help themselves but be, at their core, socialists, even with their good ideas about good government, better government. And I'm going to vote for him. He has my vote. I really hope that, and I think the only thing any of us can hope for is that we go backwards in a direction away from the bloated bureaucratic nightmare that California is right now. If we can roll back some of that, it would be.
Where is he from?
England.
Oh, so we would be taking a step backwards. We voted for him.
Decent point, Derek.
I mean, it's no wonder that he's such a socialist. But so I clipped together some stuff from the Joe Rogan show he was on recently. So if any of this is out of context, I accept that. Take it with a grain of salt because it's not in order or anything. But this is them talking about economics, about capitalism, and then Steve's idea for how to make California better.
Yeah. Very few of these quote-unquote Marxists that you find on social media are even aware of the consequences, the historical consequences of these strategies and what it ultimately leads to, which is like checkers. It's like real simple. Like, you're going to have a military that controls everything you do. As soon as you give up everything to the state, well, the state has the guns and you have nothing. And then they tell you what to do.
They tell you what to do.
It sucks. It doesn't mean that that's the way to do it because capitalism is brutal. Yeah, capitalism needs some fucking guardrails. That's
for
what it
sure.
is.
Everything needs to be. But you've got
they go back and forth in this interview, and what he said right there in the beginning was perfect. Right, like. Yes, as soon as you have a government, they have all the guns. They tell you what to do. Like socialism is a absolute nightmare because it ends up with people being murdered, so that they'll follow the rules that are set up by this socialist government. But then he goes, but obviously capitalism needs some guardrails, and right there, that's the point where you justify one guardrail on this system of capitalism. Yeah. And that justification for the most simple, like, what do you think the most simple guardrail? Like, if you just had laissez-faire capitalism, no government at all, you just had pure free market, but then some government entity is formed and they put one guardrail on it, like what's the most simple thing that they might do? Like a minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have to pay people at least 50 cents an hour. We're just going to put in this one guardrail. That way people don't get abused by these giant corporations. Well, the justification for a 50 cents an hour minimum wage, the exact same justification can be used for $100 an hour minimum wage. As soon as you start tinkering with it, that justification that you use to tinker with it, it just runs wild.
Yeah.
And you end up with all sorts of terrible ideas because it's either no government or you have socialism.
Yeah.
And there's just, the only difference is the time between the two.
Also, should note, to keep things more simple, step one, what they're talking about there, the first thing, if you look at history, the first thing any Marxist movement did once it established power, every time, is disarm the people. And people go like, well, why would they do that? It's like, because they're just about to do something that you would shoot them for.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Certainly all I really know is California. And just the level of the government in all its forms is so big, you're paying all these taxes. And the taxes are coming out in all these hidden ways. Gas taxes, housing taxes, that they don't call a housing tax, but it's there. Everywhere you look, they've got these things that they're charging you,
Right.
but which makes everything more expensive. And what do you get for it? This bloated bureaucratic government that's not actually helping any. It's actually making it harder to run a business, harder to build anything.
So perfect diagnosis right there. California is the most expensive place to live in America. And there's no reason that should be the case. There's no like natural feature in California that it should be the most expensive place to live.
Where else are you going to go?
It's beautiful in California. There are like places that people really want to live right on the coast, but you go 5 miles.
It used to.
Yeah, unless it burns down. Thanks to climate change. Any coastal like city that has really nice beachfront property and is very expensive, and a lot of people would love to live there if they could. You go 1 mile inland from there, and it's just like a regular town.
It's like a different state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like the entire state is beachfront.
Unless you score one of those new Section 8 apartment buildings that's going up in Malibu.
Yeah, in the Palisades. But it's the reason California is so expensive is because of the government.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All of the regulations, all of the taxes, all of the problems that, like your roads being fucked up. Like it's your car takes more abuse driving on the roads in California, and you are now required to buy special tires for your car, and the registration fee for your car is astronomical, and you have to pay a gas tax. All of this stuff that makes it expensive to live in California is the government.
Yeah, it's all corruption.
So the way to get rid of the high cost of living in California is to get rid of the government, right? That's obvious. And it almost seems like he's like making that point right here. I mean, he is, but then he contradicts himself. And Joe Rogan jumps right on board. Like they just can't help themselves. They're socialists at heart. Like Joe, I cut it out because it was too long, but Joe was saying like, we need a social safety net. We have to have if there's some single mother whose their husband dies and she just can't make it, like there needs to be,
or as Evan Newsom calls it, the face of homelessness.
Right. There needs to be some like help for that person, which I agree with. That person needs help, but it doesn't have to be the government that does that. Americans are very generous. They love taking care of people that are down on.
And if they had more money, they'd be even more generous.
Exactly. Okay. Continue.
Had this idea based on what you're talking about, which is actually, for a lot of people, things like the minimum wage, for example, is just, you can't live on it, especially like in California now.
Right.
But in a lot of places, it's so low, the costs are so high, can't live on it. And there's a lot of people working really hard, like not lazy on the couch playing video, seriously hard-working people, often 2 jobs, who can't live on what they make. It's like really wrong, I think.
It's because, like, what is minimum wage in California right now?
So he's saying we need a minimum wage, which is so anti what he was just saying before that.
It's like rain on your wedding day to say that.
It is.
It's because why do you need that minimum wage? Like to well, that's going to be instituted by the people that created the problem of why they can't live on minimum wage. I'm like,
exactly.
Like I'm not. I don't want any more solutions from you.
Right.
Well,
Exactly. Enough with the solutions.
The more you raise the minimum wage, everything it catches up to it. It doesn't matter if the minimum wage is $100 an hour, because you're going to go to the grocery store a month later after the minimum wage is introduced, and the groceries you bought for $100 are now going to be $150.
It's the analogy I always think of. It's like you have barbecue and your friend gets just ripping drunk and destroys your house, and then comes back the next morning like, "Sorry, I'm here to clean everything up." You're like, "No, go away. Like, stay out of my house. Stay out, like, I got it. Don't ever come here again."
But I mean, you'd be better off with a $3 minimum wage.
You'd be better off with no minimum wage.
Or no minimum wage, yeah.
Right? Every time they raise the minimum wage, they publish in the newspaper how many jobs were lost.
Yeah,
right.
Like or automated,
or were yeah. And then they automate.
So like, well, they just pay someone like $1 an hour. Like, no one would take that job.
Right.
No one's going to work for $1 an hour.
Joe says, like, there should be entry-level jobs for kids to work. And Steve Hilton's like, yeah, absolutely. I think that there are. And
well, minimum wage outlaws minimum wage jobs, entry-level jobs.
It does. That's exactly right. Yep. And really, only 8% of the population work for minimum wage. Mm-hmm. There's not that many people that work for minimum wage. A lot of them are very young, and they don't need. And then, so Joe was saying, well, it's one thing to be like flipping burgers for minimum wage, but if you're a landscaper working all day in the sun, like you can't be expected to work for minimum wage.
You can't be expected to be able to hire anyone at a minimum wage.
Who do you know that's on any of our job sites that was working for a minimum wage? I mean, we hired a 16-year-old kid with zero experience who fucked up numerous things, and we still paid him above minimum wage because you can't expect someone to work for that.
Right.
Right? That's the free market. That's how it works. You don't need a minimum wage. People have this fantasy in their heads that if there was no minimum wage, then everyone would just get paid $1 an hour. But no one's going to go to work for $1 an hour. There is a natural minimum wage. And if you want to make people's lives easier, just cut all the bullshit out. Yeah. Make California an easier place to live.
Yeah.
Easier place to buy a house, to build a house, to own a fucking car. Like, they make it almost impossible to do any of those things. Well, have you seen the new law that is going to outlaw flowers around your house? My sister-in-law just sent me this Instagram video. It's for fire safety.
Shut up.
Dude, I swear to God, these people must have the most basic dry erase board flow chart.
Yes.
People. Does it make them happy? No.
Actually, you know what
we need a lot.
You know what their dry erase board looks like? One side is apartment buildings.
Yeah.
Good. The other side, single family homes. Bad.
Yeah.
What do single family homes have? Oh, I got it. Flowers. Flowers around their
flowers.
Lawns.
And aftermarket tires.
Yes. That's what they're going after. They are deliberately trying to make California into one giant 15-minute city, get everyone with any sort of means out of California.
That's what I think they're doing with the flock cameras, because it's when they originally rolled out the 15-minute city, they started talking about districts and all this stuff. I was like, so what defines a district? Is there like a fence or whatever? It's like, to go back to Catherine Austin Fitts, I'm like, that's kind of an antiquated notion. Like, now it's kind of digital based. It's like you may or may not be able to leave your district, even though there's not a defined physical border there.
Let's hear Steve Hilton's wonderful solution to minimum wage.
But it's just gone up. It depends where you're looking. So
$15?
No, 16 and a bit, and then for fast food it's 20, and they wanted it for.
That was a recent thing, though, right? And a lot of people pushed back against that, and they wound up cutting a lot of jobs.
Yeah, that went through. So it's $20 for fast food workers.
And then it immediately cut a bunch of jobs.
Exactly, and put in automation. Work so hard, you should be able to live on it. So I had this idea, which was the business-friendly living wage. That's obviously really tough for a business to pay that kind of level.
Yeah.
You've got
business-friendly living wage?
Living wage.
Huh. Sounds vaguely familiar.
So a living wage would be higher than minimum wage.
Higher.
Way higher.
We're talking, I think the number he threw out there was like $150,000 a year. His plan would not charge any income tax on anyone making under $150,000 a year. So presumably
You're
that's
all
the living wage.
Great. Take that idea. Let's expand it a little bit. And maybe
Right.
a lot of these problems just fucking magically disappear.
Right.
For full-time work that they can't live on, the businesses are also paying taxes, payroll tax, all this stuff. They're paying to the government. And then the government is taking it and handing it back to the workers in benefits and welfare. So my thing was, why don't you just cut out the middleman and have the businesses pay the workers, not the government?
I mean,
Yes, fine idea. However, what you're talking about is the government at the point of a gun enforcing this rule that your business must pay these people a living wage. And the reward for that is that you get a tax break. And he's talking about cutting out the middleman. How about we cut out the middleman altogether?
Actually cut out the middleman.
Actually cut out the middleman. So instead of the government paying the workers, let's have the businesses pay the workers. But we will make them do that using the government and the point of a gun to force them to do that. It's so ridiculous. It's like these people, most people cannot break free from the socialist programming that they've been given through our public education system. And England is one of the worst places for that. It's no surprise that's where he's from. But it's like, just break free from this idea that we have to have government. The government does not need to exist.
Yeah.
We can handle everything that the government does on our own. We can handle the roads. I know a guy. We can handle safety much better than the police. The police do not keep you safe. They come and prosecute the guy that hurt you.
This is what I loved about the defund the police argument, which I've had with a friend. He goes, "Wait, I always need to defund the police." I'm like, oddly enough, I agree. I know that you're repeating AOC talking points. It's like, but this is where the horseshoe comes in. I was like, but let me ask you this: if you lived in the inner city of the Tenderloin, San Francisco, which is a horrific neighborhood, which is a short walk from the really nice ballpark that we were talking about earlier. I was like, what do you think happens there? He goes, oh, it's probably be just chaos. I'm like, okay, I live in a nice neighborhood. You live in a nice neighborhood. What happens in our neighborhood? Nothing. Like, nothing's going to change. The crime is not going to go up in this neighborhood. I can almost guarantee it. I was like, if you're willing to defund the police, and I am guaranteed if someone tries to break in my house, I'm not going to get in trouble for fucking shooting him in my front yard. I'm like, I'm on board, dude.
Oh, you wouldn't get in trouble because there's no police.
Yeah, for a point. What do you think happens to the nice gated community? Do you think they all pull their money together or have a private security? They're not, ostensibly what you're saying, which you're actually not saying, is we'd see our taxes go down if we had no police, we had no law enforcement, and on down the road. But given, if that was true, which I don't think you mean that because you like taxes and you think the government needs a bunch of money, yet you somehow want to fund the police somehow. Like, what does that private wealthy community do? They form their own, they get together, they pull their money together. Like, okay, our taxes went down by 20%. Let's all allocate 5% each and have our own really, really efficient, like, good private security firm. Like, that's what's going to happen.
It's funny because in their mind, defund the police, that, if you got rid of the police, they would still want all the same laws and even more.
Yeah.
And if you and I didn't want to follow those laws, how would they make us?
Who's going to enforce your aftermarket tire law?
Yes,
you voted for.
They would need another force to police their laws. Like, it's a retarded argument. Yeah, so unless you're an anarcho-capitalist or an anarchist or a monarchist, you are a socialist.
Your case was well presented.
Thank you.
And well thought out.
Thank you.
And you already knew I agreed with all that, so.
Yes. I was trying to convince Derek.
I agree with all this too. I mean, to your point, like,
you shouldn't have been late that one day, dude.
But you're right. They are trying to run everybody who's not of means out of California. That's
what it seems like to me.
They want this
flowers
to be some type of elite haven, and just enough housing for the people that do their landscaping and clean up their houses.
What is the thinking behind the Flowergate here?
Here, I'll play it for you. This may or may not make the cut, but we'll play it anyways. How come when you click on links to Instagram, like not the link you clicked on always comes up?
Bureaucrats and regulators strike again. If you are angry about the tires that they banned last week, you probably missed the story of the banning of flowers next to your home. Yes, a regulatory agency last week took a vote making it to where you cannot have any plants underneath your roofline next to your home. Why? Because of climate change and because of the risk of catastrophic wildfires. So they'll take away your ability to simply have roses and petunias next to your home. Just like they're taking away your tires to make sure that you're making the choice to save on gas because they know better than you. And what they don't realize is that this isn't about tires. This isn't about flowers next to your home. This is about the government's ability to come in and regulate all the way to those small, minute details. And if you're not pushing back in November, staying informed, staying involved,